It is so tough out there for employees right now. The world is really just starting to blow up all the way around us. The economies are struggling. We've got tariffs are getting hit. There's uncertainty everywhere. And rightfully so, employees are extremely worried right now because their bosses are worried and the managers are worried and the VPs are worried and the business owners are worried. Everyone is worried about what's going to happen and what the future looks like for all of us here. I have received more calls on what can I do to safeguard my job than anything else in the last 2 weeks. And what I shared with them are the same 5 things I'm going to talk with you about right now that I share with everyone who is in any level of employment. There's things that you should be doing that are going to safeguard your employment and help you be not only more productive, but it's also going to just get everyone to kind of leave you alone so you can just do your work, which is really what we're all want to do when we go into work anyways. Just leave me alone and let me do my work. I got you. For those who don't know, I'm a business coach. I work out of West Michigan around the country, and I hope to earn your subscription today. So let's get into this here. The number one piece of advice that I give to everyone is understand what's important to your supervisor's boss. Whoever that may be, you need to know who they are and understand exactly what they are asking of your supervisor, of your boss. And that is the priority for your work. If you want to be left alone so that you can do your work, you need to make sure you know exactly what your supervisor is going to need and get that to them first thing so that they can then worry about taking care of their boss. And then they leave you alone and you can do your work. But what that also does is it relieves a bit of stress for your supervisor. And guess what they're going to do? It's going to build a level of trust that is going to make you invaluable. And in this environment, you want to be invaluable, okay? Keep that in mind. The second piece of advice has to do with how you manage your time and your assignment. Don't let the boss get away with saying, hey, get this to me when you can. That's not okay. Don't let there be vague due dates and times. Always be saying, hey, hold on. I have a lot of things going on here. When do you need this by? Tuesday by 4 p.m. And the reason we want that day and time so that supervisor doesn't have to necessarily worry about it. They know that this is going to be to me by Tuesday at 3 p.m. If it's Tuesday at 3:05 and I haven't received this, now I need to figure out what's going on. It sets up a delivery schedule so you can manage your time. But additionally, it also allows the people that are working on it, you to be able to manage your time. And that's extremely important as well. Now, the third thing that we cover is something that you've heard before. It isn't anything necessarily new, but it is extremely important, which is always get it in writing. Document everything. Just an email recap of what everyone decided on. Or if it's done verbally to you, like, hey, I need this document by Wednesday at 2 p.m., right? Because we're always getting days and times. Reply back to that individual with an email saying, hey, to make sure that we're in agreement, you need this document by this day and time. Just send the email and there you're good. I cannot overstate how important that is because it is going to safeguard you, but also it helps the bosses. They're zipping around. They're making a lot of decisions and making requests of actions that they don't always remember to write it down. Help them out with that. Now, the number 4 piece of advice that I give to employees comes from experience. The amount of work that I've done over the years, I have always been somebody who's done high level work, very detailed oriented, deliver on expectations. But for the first 10 years of my work life, nobody noticed. No one really cared. And I didn't get any sort of attention or anything from it. And I was confused. It wasn't until a new boss came in and I was like, hey, I've been doing all this stuff, but I don't hear anything about it. And I'll never forget. He looked right at me and says, everything that you do, you need to be selling because no one honestly cares what you do. We just know you're supposed to do it. Now, he was being a little over the top on this to make a point, but it hit home. He helped me learn sales strategies to understand like, hey, I'm the only person that's going to advocate for me. Your manager, they're advocating for themselves. Their boss, they're advocating for themselves. And your fellow employees, guess what? They're advocating for themselves. Everyone is always selling. But if you don't have a strategy in order to sell how valuable you are, don't assume anyone knows it. And to help you with that, pick up this book, Influence by Robert B. Cialdini. This is the gold standard for understanding how the psychology of sales works. When you learn the basics of sales, you're then going to understand, okay, how can I then use this to help me be better appreciated in the great work that I'm doing? And that's the idea. That is 100% the idea. You need to be advocating for yourself. The last piece of advice is something we've been talking about through these first 4. It's part of the strategy. It's part of understanding. When we talk about knowing what's important to your supervisor's boss, always requiring a day and time for any due dates, always documenting everything and knowing how to sell what you're doing. And those are components of the number 5 thing that I recommend every single employee understands how to do, which is knowing how to manage up. You need to learn how to manage up to get you what you need for your work. Managers have a responsibility to organize, train, and equip. That's the 3 things that they do. Organize the workload and organize the people, train their people to be able to do the job. Equipment, give them the equipment that they need in order to be successful. Those 3 things. If you are not receiving those, you need to let your boss know in a way that they can then get that to you, because it's going to keep you from doing your job, which is to deliver what their bosses want. So when you are talking to them, always communicate in a way that allows your supervisor to be able to help you. Always coach up. It's so very important, because managers, they've got tons of people, but if you need help, you need to be specific and ask about what they can do in terms of organizing, training, or equipping you better to be successful. Those are the 5 things that I say to everyone. You need to have those understood as an employee to be successful in this environment, but frankly, in any environment. I promise you, your work life is going to get markedly better. You're going to be more successful, which is going to allow you to live the life that you want to live. I'm excited to announce we're going to start having members only events that are going to be happening here over the coming months, where you will be able to connect with me on a live stream to ask me questions about your company or your employment or your management, and have the same level of access that my clients have. So we're going to be starting those soon. Be sure to sign up for a membership. There's going to be more and more members only type of content coming out here, members only videos, members only live chats. I hope I earned your subscription today. If you'd like to learn more about how I help businesses grow faster than you ever thought possible, be sure to check out summitbusinessguys.com. Take care, and I will see you next time.